Hello guys, welcome back to JQ's World. I know I haven't done a video in a very long time. I just been busy with my side hustles. Now, YouTube really doesn't pay as much as it used to. And I decided to try something else. As you can see, I host cosplay parties and I also rent out my video games for conventions, after parties, birthday parties, whatever they need, I'm there for them. So how this works out, I rent out, as you can see, my video games that you can see here. I rent them out $500 for the whole entire day, and they could choose which console they want to rent out, and I can put it in their house or their bar, restaurant, wherever the place is going to be at. I go there and they can go and have have a great time. I'm sorry if I'm stuttering a little bit. I'm just extremely tired. After a long day, I just want to get some rest. But I digress. I'm gonna go through the list of games that are pre-installed on all these machines, as you can see from here. So I'm gonna start off first with the PlayStation 4. I'm working really hard to get a PlayStation 5, so then I can grab all my games from here and just move it on to the new system. Now, as you can see, I'm gonna go through the list here. I apologize if I go a little bit quickly, but I just need to make sure I go through the list on all my consoles. We have all type of games that you like: fighting games, adventure games, zombie games, I call it rhythm games, racing game, puzzle game, trivia game. You name it, I have it. Classic games, whatever you are looking for, I have it already here. So as you can see, this one has 119 games already here. I want to try to get more, but I'm going to wait for the PlayStation 5 so I can continue buying more games for that. Now as you can see, this is a Nintendo Switch OLED, the newest one. So I'm going to go through the library of games here. Again, every single game you want already has the DLC, so you don't have to be worrying about that as well, as you rented me out. So I'm going to go through the list as quick as possible, because I'm literally holding the camera and the controller at the same time, and my hand is tired. The majority of the games that are already here are already saved on the Nintendo Switch. But if other games that are not saved in here, is basically on the chip. The chips I carry with me at all times, so you don't have to worry about that. The Nintendo Switch has over 300 games. There we go. Now here, the next machine. Again, I collect games all the way from the past all the way to the present, because I love collecting video games and learning the history of each of the video games. This has 15,000 games already pre-installed. The only bad thing about it, I'm not going to go through the whole entire list, but I'm just going to go through the system here, because it's going to take me forever to go through the whole entire list. So as you can see, we have the arcade, we have the light gun games, but again, I don't know how to emulate the light gun games. It's going to take me a while to learn, but regardless, I'm not going to focus on this. I'm going to focus on the games that are playable. The only one that's not playable is just the light gun game. I apologize if I'm going fast, but I'm trying to go one by one. Like I said, I rent out for the whole day is 500. And again, I have to pack up and take all this to go wherever you want me to go with the parties at, or wherever you're located. I'll be on my way with my machines. And now we're back in the beginning. Moving on, right here we have the Super Nintendo. But as you can see right here, it says 901. So there's 900 Super Nintendo game already pre-installed. Just plug and play on a modern TV of HD 1080 60 frames per second. Now I'm not gonna go through the list here because I'm mostly text, but as you can see, the only way you could go and play different games, all you gotta do is press the reset button, go to the list of games from A to Z. They're all in pixels, so I mean not pixels, they're all in letter. So you gotta read which game you want, press start, and bada bing bada boom, plays automatically. Now, right here, whoops. There we go, gotta go all the way up. Give me 1 second. On this Xbox, I have 832 games pre-installed. I'm gonna try to go through the list as quick as possible because there's a lot of games. I'm doing this and holding the camera at the same time. So in case if you want to see through the list, you can just slow it down on YouTube. So you can see the whole list there. Again, all these games that I have already have all the DLC, so you don't have to worry about that. We have from racing game, puzzle games, shooting games, zombie games, mafia games. Whatever game you want, I have. Even the bad games, I even have. Mortal Kombat vs. DC. I mean, people hate it, but I actually like it. The difference between me and other places, for example, I go to a lot of conventions or I go to a lot of after parties, and I enjoy them. I really do. And I'm not trying to talk bad about them or say anything bad because I admire their success. I admire their hard work that they do. But the only thing, like example for me, I enjoy having more options when it comes to video games. Most people, they just put one machine, one game, and that's it. With me, I like giving people, I call them choices. If they're done with one game, except, being bored and just leaving the machine alone, they can try out other games. Try out, experiment other games from the past or the future, but they can sit down and play. And that's all on this. Now, moving on here, we have a classic arcade, Marvel vs. Capcom. This game, unfortunately, only comes with 5. But the good thing about this is that if you have nobody to play with, you can play with people online in this. All you gotta do is just be connected to the internet. And you can play people whoever has this cabinet, which is outside the state or in different countries. Now here is where the good part starts. Whatever you see in there, I have in here. The difference between that one and this one, this has over 3,000 games already pre-installed and ready to play. And it runs 1080 60 frames per second. Unlike this one that's like basically, more pixely, this is mostly full HD. As you can see, whatever game you just saw there, I have it right here. Again, I'm not going through the whole 3,000 list here because there's a lot to go through, but take it from my word, this has 3,000 games. The only way I can prove that to you, I have to go to the very end right here. 3,399. Now on this one right here. This is the Xbox Series XS. As you can see here, whatever games you see there, they're here, but only less. The reason why, because most of the games here are mostly on higher resolution on the XS. So whatever games you saw there, you're gonna see here as well. Some of the newer games, like the Street Fighter or the Resident Evil 4 or whatever, are on the newer, consoles. There you go. That's for the Xbox. Now, moving on to this one right here. In case if you don't want to play the emulation version of the Nintendo 64, I have the classic Nintendo 64 hooked up to an HDMI, so you'll be playing still 1080 60 frames per second, but you'll be playing in the old versions. And as you can see right here are all the classic games that you can see. And last and not least is the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the PlayStation 2. Very classic intro, as you can see. It's also run 1080 60 frames per second because I have the wires that goes up to these PC TVs. I'll go through the list of the games that I have here. So again, if you want to rent me out, the games are included. Let's go with the PlayStation 1 games. Be pretty difficult to read it. Hold on, let me just move a little bit back. There we go. Much better. There we go. So yeah, that's basically it. I host my own events, but I also enjoy going to people's conventions, people's after parties, and I also want to try to help out my community by renting out my video games in case if they don't want to, do all the heavy lifting. I can do it for them for a small price. But again, if you guys have any concerns, any questions, you could definitely leave it in the comment below. Message me. I'm in the New York City area. Again, if you have any conventions, any after parties, or anything like that, and you would like to rent out my video games, I have everything here ready to go. Thank you very much, guys, for hearing me out. Thank you very much for, I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna make any promises because it's very difficult because I am a very busy man and doing other things as well. But I'm gonna try to continue doing more videos on JQ's World, on events that I go to, after parties that I go to, and record everything that happens there. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care and have a good night.